Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to this read. Welcome to this series. I just wanted to open up and introduce you all. My name is Virgo Saint North Node. As you all are likely aware, you clicked on this video because it's identifying who and what sign you are resonating with. However, I do not actually know who I will be reading for at this moment. We are doing an Aries new moon solar eclipse reading that is taking place over us as we speak. Yesterday, if you were fortunate enough, there were about a handful of signs that were already done pre-moon, and that's obviously by my guidance. And then I usually get guided to do the signs that need more of a post-moon or as it's rising or as it's crowning sort of message. So that's what you're tapping into today. I just wanted to start by saying thank you for holding space for me. If you please do not over-identify with what you see of the third dimension. I am going to try my best to be as emotionally neutral as possible in terms of like what feelings I'm coming to this reading with. I'm trusting spirit right now, but one of the biggest things for this sign that I'm saying is that if it hasn't stopped you before, now it's not going to stop you now. So no matter who you are or where you are, I just want you to know I am with you in that experience that I am having to power through and make sure to be there for myself at this moment. That knowing that today, this moon, this eclipse is a really big moment of arrival for me. It's a moment of actually graduating a cycle that has been extremely tumultuous for me. And so I want you to know I'm going to do my best to give the energy as I receive it to really honor your journey and your path as a sign. Again, I just use this little stack of papers and I pick a sign live and direct so that you know that these readings aren't pre-recorded and that you know that the energy here is really just sort of build some sort of rapport of accountability. So I'm going to go ahead and get right into it without further ado. Again, like I said, I go by the name of Virgo Saint North Node. Thank you for visiting Tethered Studios. Thank you to Tethered Studios for always producing and allowing me the space to do the best job in the world. I truly love it. I've already got the sign that's going to go next. You guys really jumped out. So these are all synchronicities that I feel the need to share with you. But Virgo, and it's so funny that I was talking exactly about how if it hasn't stopped me yet, I'm going to just have to keep going. And I think right now, the namesake of my channel is about my North Node and about how I stepped into this calling to be this sort of conduit of, the consciousness messages that I get to support the collective with their ascension. And I've had to really make this channel and make these messages against all odds. And so I'm really excited to close this sort of 6-month cycle that I archived even back in October when I did the Libra new moon eclipse experiences during October of 2024. And so I'm really glad to be back 6 months later with this information, with this data. Again, there might be some movements and things without this video. I'm also not completely alone in the room that I'm in. So all of those things considered, Virgo, I'm going to give you the best energy that I can give you. If there's anything that I can already give you off the top, it's like your resiliency to meet your authentic truth is astronomical. Let's just say that. Thank you, Spirit, Creator, Prime Source. We're starting with the crystal resonance, water, new earth. Okay. Virgo, off top, you are just getting the water element. And mind you, these are the crystal resonance. This is the crystal resonance deck. I use this to allow us to kind of get an overview of what we're talking about. But to me, off top, Virgo, you are supplying the water for new earth. Right? You are supplying us with the intuition of new earth, the feeling of new earth. And so with all of that being said, you may be asked at this time to really be a pioneer in this space, and it may feel vulnerable to be showing and having your emotions, your true authentic emotions, on such a high display, but just believe that there is divine intention in all of that. Spiritual insight that you are being given to stand in the truth of, because I just see that I don't think Virgo has let their waters run and touch the earth of their heart, the true nature of their entire energy signature quite like they have. So I would like to go ahead and begin this reading. We're going to go ahead and use the Rider-Waite Vintage Tarot deck from 1970 for you, Virgo, just to go ahead and give you messages, things. And let's see. Okay. And this is the reinvigoration that I really needed for you, Virgo. There is, from God, this creative new beginning. I think a lot of Virgos have really, really, really been patiently awaiting an opportunity where it feels like the universe gives you your chance to have a creative new beginning. I really, truly feel like Virgos, especially if you feel like I feel when I was in my Virgo energy as I started this reading, many of us feel like we have been trapped in what feels like an old cycle, and we've been so maybe even like many of you feel like you don't know how else to begin anew. Like perhaps like Virgo, like I said, you've been caught up in a cycle where it feels like you're being given crumbs from the universe, when it feels like you really would rather have this sort of water fertilizing you. Like I feel like the cycle that Virgo's been waiting on is one that actually waters their earth, right? One that actually gives life to them. And perhaps Virgo was feeling the stagnancy of, again, because Six of Pentacles to a Virgo, very Virgo, in the sense that, again, so far it's just been about exchanging and divvying up and just this getting the least out of life, I feel like. And I feel like this big, giant, fiery new beginning from Spirit is the transition that Virgos have graduated to, where you get to have a life of passion again, a life of true, authentic emotion again, versus the maybe perhaps the last 2-year cycle for you during the Aries Libra axis have really been isolating the ways in which you in the past were only getting breadcrumbs. You were only ever getting the old associations, the old partnerships, the old contracts that you were going into did not represent any sort of sense of feeling alive. And so it's really important for our Virgos, because you guys do really deal with the data that we collect surrounding our experience. And so imagine you doing the accounting of your experiences and they're all just breadcrumbs. They're all so lukewarm. They're all so dry and cut. And I just feel like, so many people have boxed in what true Virgo energy is meant to do. But I think when we talk about our sixth house, when we talk about taking care of ourselves, I just get a deep sense that like the partnerships and the ways that you were giving and receiving in the past, Virgo, we're always just so, I'm really hearing stale. So I feel like with this eclipse, it came in that you can't hide what actually wells up from where you actually feel aligned, from where you actually feel your passionate renewal. So if you were in contracts like this, Virgo, that really were breadcrumbing you, that were really truly not fueling the life force energy within you, I'm feeling like Virgo's life force energy, the thing that actually brings them to life, is being on display right now. And so from the highest vibration, that can be like, wow, many Virgos at this time have this creative endeavor that they've been really mulling over that's really ready to take flight at this time. On a maybe lower vibration, I feel like there's a lot of Virgos that were masking in a previous cycle, hiding or maybe even clutching on to this sort of Six of Pentacles exchange because they were really terrified of this. And so for our lower vibrational Virgos at this time, you might be scared by what really excites you, what really ignites you. And I think you were living or masking or hiding behind this, like, oh no, I just like give and take. I just like contractual agreements. I don't need a passionate lover. I don't need to be in love with my job. I don't need to love where I live. I don't need any fluctuation. I feel like there's no more of that, especially, like I said, for our lower vibrating Virgos that are feeling very suppressed in their energy right now. I think the discomfort of Aries season could actually draw out, or maybe it gets exposed. Like I said, I'm getting a lot of messages too, really about a lot of our Virgo energies, especially in interpersonal relationships. I think that if you were being inauthentic to any degree about how exciting and varied you like your life to be, just because you're in the realm of the sixth house, meaning you're taking care of personal affairs, it doesn't mean that you need any less of an exciting life. And I think when you're around and attracting people that are like, oh, I think a lot of Virgos, I'm not even saying you're low vibrational, but a lot of Virgos that are at this eclipse are realizing that they're in partnerships where people look at you, or maybe even used you or attracted you because they only want to use you for your stability, for how you are good at like your routine, perhaps. Like I think I've been getting a lot of Virgos that were like, I was never just your routine, babes. I was never just your accountant for what you can't do for yourself. I'm not just your regulator. I'm a full-fledged giant shaft of energetic energy, and I'm not just here to be the person that you habitually project your whatever fucking shit you can't regulate on yourself. You need to know that I have this within me. And if a Virgo was in any kind of contract with anything that was doing this and keeping you here, I just feel like this hand of God, this push from the eclipse, is taking those partnerships out, taking those interpersonal connections out, and leaving you with, for the first time, what feels like your ability to show that, like, of course I had so much more. Of course I have this full-fledged, fully not controllable, not controlled, aspect of myself that it just wants to be, I'm not getting wild, but I'm getting free. Freedom is really what I'm getting. Beautiful opening message, Virgo. Wow. 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 And I think, of course, it came from Virgo's tempering with something that, again, with temperance, it's all about filtration. It's all about the time it takes for these two to come into clear, perfect, aware balance. But unfortunately, when you tossed up, Virgo, with this old partnership, with these old connections, when you tossed them up and you allowed for them, for your higher power to go ahead and temper the cups that you were claiming, like, oh, this is the thing I want to go into contract or partnership with, right? When you were tossing it up to temperance came back with a report card like, baby, I hate to break it to you, it's not a match. And I feel like for a lot of Virgos, whether that is, again, whether you were working a job and this is what's happening, whether you were living in an environment that was in this, and this is happening, whether you, like I said, I'm getting a lot of deep interpersonal relationships that really you're seeing, like, I'm realizing now that, like, the part of life that surrounds about our natural authenticity, our natural energy, can't be calculated. I can't just pick a partner and, like, hope that it gives me this natural fervor, right? I can't just build a bitch. I can't just pick a husband, just pick a wife, right? I can't just, it's because many Virgos, I'm seeing that it's a long time. I feel like there's this a cycle that for Virgos, it could have been decades, it could have been years, right? Where it felt like you were really looping and not understanding that if something is really just like if something already shows evidence of only being tit for tat, only being contractual, only being limiting you to just an exchange, limiting you to just like the back and forth, and they never have room for like your creative direction, how you want to be spontaneous, how you want to be childlike, what really makes you feel passionate, then mixing with those things at this time, I think that the cycle's up regardless of how many years, how many months, how many days it's been going on for you. I think temperance is giving you the report like, oh, we tried to match these things to each other and they don't. Why don't they match? Because it's a third party. Because it's good news, Virgo. There is something that does match for you. So I just feel like a lot of Virgo placements at this time are getting the awareness that we are lovingly and gently setting down and letting go of the third party messy energy. That a lot of people, because like I said, Virgos represent our purity. You're never going to catch a Virgo slipping. You're never going to catch a messy Virgo. You're never going to catch a Virgo that is not completely aware of themselves. And so a lot of times you attract these messier people who really just come and stain because your routine is based off of your natural energy. But when you're not here to do labor anymore. You're really not here to just regulate other people because you're good at regulating yourself. And I'm really getting that. Like, if you're going to be regulating your partner, you need someone who could also regulate you. It just needs to be matched. It can't be the situation where we are putting Virgos in a box and only seeing them for the ways that they can straighten our shit out and make sure it lasts over time and make sure it's credible and accountable. Like, everybody's been putting that on you. And so then when Virgo wants to show up under this eclipse, like, I'm ready to show off some of that natural, creative, spontaneous, like I said, larger than life, like wilder energy, this big, unkempt, like this Ace of Wands is not trimmed. This is not, that's what I'm saying. A lot of people right now, Virgo, are also saying like, you're not acting like yourself. You're not usually this rough around the edges or like, it's not even rough around the edges. It's like you embracing like more of a Pisces vibe. Like, it's like, I can show up, like my braids aren't done. Like, oh yeah, I'm not going to usually if I always go get my fucking beard edged up, I'm not going to do it this week. And I think some of these partnerships got triggered. Like, what the fuck do you think you're doing? What do you mean you're not going to cook me dinner like you do every night? What do you mean you're not gonna buy my clothes like you do for me all, like, right? And I think Virgo said no, and I think Virgo was specifically saying no to some of this dutifulness that they've been ascribed just to see who would spill, just to see who started tweaking. Because I think you needed to know, like, oh, did you start tweaking when I stopped fucking doing all that shit for you? Oh, you were never a match. You were never a match. And that's really huge for Virgo. It's a huge freeing end of a cycle. Because again, if you pull back all that, like I said, all that sixth house magic, all that perfection that you are, that you had a hunch intuitively that these people were coming to you for because you're proficient in that in ways that no one else in the zodiac is, no one can get, like, you guys can devise a business plan, but Virgo can actually get it done. Virgo's the one that's like, I balance the books. I actually know that I can go on this tour. I actually know that I can hit this number. I can hit this projection. So when you're with so many people, again, who, like I said, like they only want you because they know you're going to clean up their shit, baby. But then when they see Virgo acting shitty, when they see you acting messy and they have no fix for it, they have no help, and in fact, they just start tweaking out. Yeah, it was never a match. It was never a match. Whew. And finally, this is huge. You ever seen, I don't even know where I'm seeing what I'm seeing, but there was like, back in the day, there was like, you ever remember some cartoon where it's like, they're about to play a arcade claw machine, and somebody ties a string or has a quarter on a string and they put it in the claw machine, and then they get to play and they pull it out. That's Virgo's pulling that right now. You put your shit into some shit and you're pulling it out. Like, if you're in the high vibration right now, Virgo's got their asset ready to go give to their actual 10 of cups. However, if you are caught in some karmic shit that you were trying to mix with, Virgo, I believe that at this time, God is letting you pull that string and pull it right out, because your investment, your Virgo energy is meant for something that actually can fulfill you emotionally. And like I said, when I started this, I just felt like that Six of Pentacles was rubbing me the wrong way, because it was a lot of bitches who don't give a fuck about your emotions. Like, a lot of people get around Virgos and just do not even think you guys have any intuition, any emotion. It's crazy. Do you guys know? Go up to these bitches who keep thinking you're just some stale, dry fucking church wafer and let them know Virgo is a feminine sign. Oh, that's going to hurt their feelings. You are not, you're Earth. Earth is feminine, meaning you actually should be doing intuitive shit. You should be feeling things. So a lot of y'all were attracting partners in the past that were like, oh, you don't care. You just want to fucking type away. You just want to do the numbers. You should just go you should go be an electrician. When really, Virgos need to be in a creative direction space. They need to be conceptualizing something, and they need to be feeling very deeply. And I think it scared people because you called on Temperance. You were like, Temperance, come air these bitches out. Come let them know how much emotions I really have, because I've seen a lot of Virgo energy, a lot of Virgo placements around me where it's like when they start showing their emotions, people really negatively react. And in fact, they don't even know what to do with it. Like, when a Virgo starts telling you their emotions, ooh, girl, good luck to you. Especially if you thought they had none, good luck to you. Good luck to you. Because I think people saw you as a cash cow. They saw you as like, oh, that organization can really help me build a business. It can help me run a whole house. It can help me run a family with 5 kids. Sure. But when I start telling you how I feel about you keeping me as a slave or treating me like a bitch or making me fucking forcing me to do some shit, and you fucking tweak out. Yeah, because I had emotions. I had a lot of emotions about how it felt to be seen as only the page, as only the physical pentacle, the third dimensional shit. Who's making room in the new earth paradigm for Virgo's waters? I'll tell you right now, I love a third deacon Virgo, but some of the best Virgo energies are the super, super emotionally in tune Virgos. That's my favorite shit. Yeah, they're going to give cunt. Yeah, they're not going to give a fuck. They may not even be well liked, but when a Virgo is in tune with their emotions deeply and you attract them or you align to them, oh my God. Because Virgos can show us how to properly organize our emotions. That's what you're being called into. Because this is like, all my emotions aren't crossed. All my hairs aren't crossed. Like, I know who my ops are. I know who I love. I know what I'm doing. And you guys can organize your feelings really well. And I think right now, when we're cleaning up the messiness of Age of Pisces, we really need Virgo's approach to divvying up emotions, to how they can put their shit in a fucking drawer and put a label on it and fucking label the fucking paprika. Yeah, that's what we need. But we need that in an emotional and intuitive realm. And I specifically think Virgos are really going to help with the spiritual warfare that's been going on, especially as we transition to the age of Aquarius. Because the Virgo placements are the ones that are telling you, you need to define what you witness. Like, some of us are going through demon attacks, and the Virgo placements are like, you need to categorize that as a demon attack so that in the future, you don't keep emotionally investing in stuff it's like, when you go to therapy, that's great. But if you don't actually apply like the general terminology you learn from your therapist, it's going to do nothing for you. If you don't know that, okay, when I'm talking about the realm of narcissists or whatever trigger words you want to talk about, Virgo's going to tell you, okay, but if you're dealing with a narcissist, then you need to derive some sort of data. We need to equate, what does that mean for you? Do you really struggle when you're around narcissistic dynamics? Okay, if it's struggle bus for you, you need to attach a feeling to that. So Virgos, high vibrational Virgos right now are going crazy on the beat, because they're actually showing us how to attach a value to our water, because water is so hard to define. Like, how much value is there in a drop of water from the ocean? We don't really know, right? But Virgo's taking on that challenge right now. Virgo's like, I'll tell you how valuable valuable fucking 10 cups is. And I think it actually comes from some of you Virgos have lived lifetimes in partnerships and shit that if you can't, some of you are walking away and I'm holding space for you, Virgo, because I entered this reading feeling a type of way. And I feel like a lot of you are walking away from long-term investments where what you realized what was missing was all the emotion. And so when you walk away from these investments that had no water, like I'm telling you, like I'm getting dried out dirt. I'm getting like Austin, Texas in the fucking summer, 190 degrees, dead desert, like just dirty, dry earth. And a non-moisturized Virgo is going to be a cranky Virgo. And I feel like if you came from that really dried out sort of Sahara energy in your last cycle in terms of who and what you were connecting with, I think you're very clear now that most of you could be 70 years old. You could be newly getting divorced after a 50-year marriage or some shit, right? And if you're a Virgo placement, you're going to be like, dude, I know right now the value of being emotionally fulfilled. Even if you had to learn through contrast, you know it is super valuable how valuable it was to have that partner that actually emotionally fulfilled you versus that partner that didn't, versus the partner that just checked the box or showed up to the appointment or met you for dinner, right? Like if you didn't have the emotional connection to them, if they didn't actually make your Kundalini rise, then it wasn't worth that much. Because I think you went through a lot of trial and battlegrounds trying to connect with people that weren't doing that for you just to learn about value. And that's all Virgo is. They tell you how valuable shit is. They're like, I'll let you, they're their appraisal. That's what you are. You can see some cheap shit from a mile away. Like that is ghetto. That is not even, no baby, we don't wear that over here. That's a Virgo's energy. It's the truth. And so you finally have an appraisal for the 10 of Pentacles. It's beautiful. I can't even honestly thank you, Virgo, because you're the namesake of this channel, and the journey that you guys go through really is my North Node, and I really need to embrace it so deeply. But I think you through this final, I think the final boss you just went through, I think you can all relate to this, whether you're feeling high vibe, low vibe, or anywhere in between. I think the final boss was calling on Temperance to really assess. You needed Temperance to tell you, is there any emotion in this relationship? And Temperance was like, baby, no. And next time Temperance is telling you, just remember, you don't even need to call on angelic support. I gave you an angelic support. I gave you an Ace of Wands within yourself so that you can know this, right? Like the best partnerships, the best marriages, the best business partners, the best communities, the strongest ties come from people who fucking feel each other's, who feel something, who feel connected to their endeavors, who feel connected to what they do, right? Like working a job you don't feel connected to, but you just know it pays the bills is crazy. Driving the car that you don't really give a shit about, but it makes you look good is not going to do anything for you. Virgo isn't just good for style, babes. Your style comes from how your clothes make you feel, like, right? So when Virgo gets too lost in the warehouse of fucking designer bust down, it's like, wait, but the whole reason I got into luxury clothing in the first place because it made me feel how dignified Virgo energy really is, right? And so it makes me, thank you guys, because I really need you guys, because I forget that sometimes I really do this shit. I come to this space, I come to Virgo Saint North Node because it makes me feel like who I am. And I want you to know, Virgo, that you are ready now for the total picture. And right now, the only thing you care about is putting your physical time, energy, and focus on something that really will give you a full spectrum feeling. And that is, of course, because I don't think they saw this. I think there are a lot of Virgos that covertly were in these, they were subtly shifting out of the old paradigm, but I don't think people saw you transform into this in your recent past. In the recent past, you came forward as what you are. You came forward as a feminine energy, which is what you always were. But I believe in the old paradigm and the patriarchy and all of these crashing old symbolism, Virgo got dried out. They just got sapped for all their water, and they were just like, count the numbers, do the shit. Wake up at 6 a.m., go to work till 5, come back home. Like you guys got all the fucking earth. They extracted all your value and didn't replenish any of your water. And what is the earth without any water? Dead. Okay, so if you had no life in this old cycle, you got somewhere quietly, discreetly, and turned into what you really were. I see a lot of Virgos in the recent past subtly, not even telling these bitches that I'm going to pull back and pour into me. Because I can tell you bitches are using me, especially if you have to leave and you knew you were going to be using this eclipse energy to remove yourself from certain things that you used to be connected to. But I'm just getting that no one saw you do this. No one saw you reclaim your throne as the emotionally intuitive and divinely guided, fulfilled energy that you are, because our Virgos represent our priests, our saints, right? Shout out to Virgo saint, but shout out to the saints, right? Like the people who really have that spiritual purity are the people that get filled up by spirit. So you became some person who can get filled up by the waters of spirit. And I don't even think these girls saw it. And all of a sudden I'm getting like, not only are you a magnet for hella alchemical shit, I also get you were even maybe even attacked. I think there were people who had a negative reaction to you showing up as your natural self, as your authentic self. And I also think that Virgos get projected on a lot. I think a lot of people will, like a lot of people when they have a messy cycle, they don't know they do this. They'll go find a Virgo energy to clean themselves up. And you know this all too well. You know how many messy bitches just wanted to get around you because the last nigga they left was a piece of shit or it caused a mess and now they got a baby daddy or they got a baby mama, whatever, right? And they come to you because they need you to organize their shit. And I think when you go back, because water is not calculated, it's rushing, it's all powerful, it's huge, right? But again, I think that there might have even been a lot of targeting, a lot of like fast energy, a lot of like surprise, like response to the fact that you're like, haha, I'm out now. What are you going to do about it? I'm out the closet. I'm out, and I'm talking about the Louis Vuitton closet. Like I'm talking like you're out the, like I'm out of the, I am who I am. I'm not just this proper and prim because that's for the sake of it. It makes me feel the best. You get what I'm saying? So I think a lot of people that thought you were just doing shit for capitalism or for clout was like, no, baby, I might be getting clout for what I do, but the real reason my motivations are my own spiritual truth. This is what God asked me to do, to be this perfect. You get what I'm saying? It's a huge thing, Virgo. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Because crowning your message, Virgo, Two of Swords, the Wheel of Fortune. You were being asked a very specific question, Virgo. Is what's in front of you really going to be the wheel? Whether you're in a partnership, whether you're in a contract, whether you are just dealing with something outside of you, everywhere you were in the last 6 months, you were being asked, is this actually valuable? Yes or no? And I think you have a new definition of value from what I'm seeing. There's so many cups here. Never does Virgo get this many cups. You are defining value as emotionally fulfilling, intuitively and spiritually fulfilling. You don't need friends anymore that have shit, that have stuff, that have property. That's not even interesting to you because you just came out of hella cycles I'm seeing where you just had so much shit and it didn't even mean anything after a while because all these clowns, anybody can get stuff. We've saturated everything. Anybody can have designer. You can rent clothes and return them now. Like shit's crazy out here. So how does Virgo know who's high quality and who's low quality? Well, now the new currency is feeling. Now the new currency is who can make me feel something. And that's what you were realizing. And this is you going up to the wheel spinning with your truth. And when you're going and assessing people, yeah, I think you ruffled some feathers. Yeah, I think you pissed some people off. But I think you realize, like, just know I'm going no contact with you, hoes, as soon as the new cycle hits. As soon as we're all off this boat, I'm going no contact. You want to know why? Because when I spun the wheel of feeling, you guys don't make me feel anything except for like shit. So when people are just making you feel like shit, it's like it's over. Like this relationship, it doesn't even matter what this relationship was giving me. Like again, I think Virgos used to be so like, all right, I'll do the contract. They're like, I'll take the check or I'll take the sponsorship if they pay me well enough. But now Virgo's like, I can't even do that. I don't even have the energy to do that. And that's very Age of Aquarian coming into the Virgo collective. Like, I don't even really have the energy to do that if all you're just going to give me is shit. Like, I need you to actually feel something. I need you to actually really try to give me something. You know what I'm saying? That touches my spirit because you're a spiritual person, right? That's what you are. You're so connected to your spirit. And that's why you've transformed, right? You are about to have a certain victory. You are about to be successfully manifesting and alchemizing the reality you want with this new wand. This is you creative directing something and then transforming into the person that's already successful for doing it. That's what's going to happen. And that's why you called on temperance, because you're about to change expeditiously. You're about to transform. The cycle's dead. Whoever was connected to you, sorry, because Virgo was using you because they're about to transform. So if you thought you didn't fuck Nick, you fucked the whole body. Like that's what you're about to do. But again, I think it's just because you called on temperance because you want temperance to clean out whoever isn't actually like spiritually, emotionally, intuitively up to par. Because what you're about to turn into is like larger than lemons, larger than life. It's huge. The success that you're about to possess is just next level. And this is the type of success where there's no cosign. There was no sponsorship, because Virgo already had a certain level of wealth, is what I'm saying. You already had a certain level. You already been through your fucking rookie era. But Virgo's like stepping into their senior year, right? Some of these girls are going the freshman year. You're in your senior year. So when your senior year comes around, you have a little more power as you walk through the hallways. And so especially with senior year, that's when you start deciding like, where would you want to go to further your education at? You get to creative direct your senior year, right? You can make varsity your senior year. You know what I'm saying? You can make first chair your senior year versus maybe freshman year. You didn't have it like that. You didn't have the skills yet. So Virgo's like, baby, I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. This is not my first go around. This is not my first merry-go-round. So I'm about to you're getting a lot more creative direction abilities coming your way. So anything that Temperance with this eclipse is trying to literally just like clear out for you is just things that aren't up to speed with your intuitive and emotional abilities. Okay, but let's not forget, again, you're a feminine energy, which means you're receptive, right? It doesn't matter masculine or feminine in terms of your gender expression or anything in between. Feminine energies learn through attracting, not going out and doing. And I think people were doing that. Again, when we talk about the age of Pisces, and we also just talk about the dark age, the way that we did things to control the population was through cognitive dissonance. So things mean the opposite of what they actually mean, right? So that's where all this gaslighting and all this narcissistic sickness is flooding the ether with. So with Virgos, especially feminine signs, we raise kids to be opposite of what their natural feeling is. If you got a Capricorn, let's raise them like a goddamn Aries. And that's not going to happen because a Capricorn is meant to attract. They're not meant to go out and do too much. But why does everybody think Capricorns are fucking landlords and shit? That's not even factual, right? Why does everybody think Virgos are just good for accounting and counting numbers and just like mindlessly doing stuff and organizing? That's not even true. You're good at creating organization. You're good at fucking literally creating organizations. Like I'm literally seeing you getting the opportunity to create bigger structures now, because like I said, this is like your senior year. This is not your first year. This is your senior year. And so you already know the curricula. This is your time to shine, right? Like how do you ball out on the SAT your senior year versus if you took it for the first time your sophomore year to see where you're at? You know what I'm saying? Like shit like that. Like whatever, if you're not from the United States, like these are just standardized tests. Like how would you do on a standardized test if you were just coming in and you don't know the material versus you've had some time to sit on it? You've had some cycles to sit on it. But again, Virgo, this is huge because I think you're about to just leave people, like you're about to let the Reaper take these bitches out. And it's really because like you already have the success. Like I think a lot of people are about to be like, because I really hate to say this, Virgo, this is so crazy because it doesn't really matter where you're at vibrationally. Like, I really feel like a lot of people were looking at Virgo placements like they would never leave me. I'm like so much better than them. Like they would like never leave me. And I'm getting Virgo with no contact. Like, I think you peeped game a long time ago. You saw these bitches who were like, wait a minute, you think I'll always answer the phone? You genuinely think I'll always just keep meeting you for your little shit, don't you? You genuinely think I'm always going to pull up when you call. You think you're the baddest bitch I've ever seen, don't you? Yikes. And so Virgo literally did the opposite. Virgo literally called Temperance and the Reaper and was like, fuck them. Fuck them. Because I already have success. What? You're playing me. And that's what I just think is the worst thing that anyone could do to a Virgo, because I just think, like, again, it has to do with the shitty role reversal shit of the fucking, it's like people not being able to be what they are. It's like, whatever the fucking shit was, I just think that they didn't see you having this success. They didn't think you could create this kind of success on your own. Like I said, I think a lot of people know what Virgo's good for, but a lot of people think Virgos are codependent. Never in your life. Never in your life think that. Oh, you thought I was depending on you? That's what Virgo's like, what? What? How many of my businesses do you think were built based on you? No, babe. Your self-concept was not, baby. Let me tell you something. If you're a Virgo placement, none of your self-concept was defined by anybody else. You made that shit up on your own. That's your blueprint. You're living out your birthright. None of these bitches made you. Don't do that. Don't do that. So I think you're literally letting the Reaper come through, because it's like a lot of these bitches swore you'd never go anywhere. They thought they had you in the bag. They were like, Virgo ain't finna do shit. They finna be right here. Whole time they were the bum. What? You thought I wouldn't fucking remove that's crazy. That's what I'm saying, bro. Because right now I'm getting Virgos worldwide. They're in their bachelor. They're a bachelor. They're the proper bachelor. You have all your own independent wealth. You grew all these motherfucking melons in your own fucking garden at your own fucking casa. You own some things. You have some shit now, Virgo. Yeah, you went through a healing journey. We know. We talked about it, babes. But I was proud of y'all. Because once you came out that healing journey, of course, a earth sign's going to come out of the healing journey wealthy as fuck. With some shit. with some spiritual wealth, of course. And so now you're starting this new cycle, starting today, where the only bitches you want to come, if you're trying to slide into Virgo's DMs, if you're trying to holler at shorty, you need to come like a page of cups. You need to come with some emotional offers. You need to come being like, I'm trying to, bitch, you make me feel something. I'm gonna put y'all in the game right now. Virgo is so rich and so good by themselves. They so don't need you. So if you really want to come into their close quarters and have some of this 10 of cups wealth, you better have something emotionally, intuitively, and spiritually. Otherwise, you're not interesting to them. They've already mastered the third dimension. They don't need you for anything. So the only thing that Virgos would need is like, show me something spiritually I ain't never seen. Tell me about some concepts I've never heard before. Make me feel a feeling I've never felt before. Baby, this is crazy. This is crazy, Virgo. This is crazy. Because these bum, dry ass, water bred bitches are crazy. They're done. They're cooked. I think you sent this King of Wands packing. I think Virgo like literally did the craziest shit ever. Like I think a lot of people were plotting on Virgo. A lot of people when it came to you, like they'd be acting like you're my one. I'm not making any backup plans. Whole time they had a backup. They had 10, 12 backups. So they were ready. They had their plans because they figured if you ever left me, that's fine. I'm making my preparations. But I think people are surprised that Virgo had something backed up too. Oh, and then they got dropped. And then the King of Wands got dropped and he's getting sent on a dark night of the soul because why did you think you could have a backup and Virgo couldn't have a backup? You've been talking to 10, 12 bitches on the phone while you telling me I'm the only one. And Virgo's like, so was I. They was cheating on you. You cheating back. I'm just saying, like, I think right now that people keep putting Virgo in this you're a prude box. Like, oh, you don't got no shadow. And I think people are about to see Virgo's shadow and it's about to be embarrassing as fuck. It's about to be embarrassing as fuck because they hate you when you have a shadow. They do. They literally hate your shadow. They're like, what? Wait, what? And they're going to try to villainize you. You're going to be like, you're so bad. Oh, but you was running game on me this whole time. I had no problem using me to clean up and straighten out your shit. And you thought I wasn't peeping game? That's crazy. That's this dirty ass King of Wands. Yeah, bro. Baby, because the whole time you were healing, you were also getting more and more confident in being your authentic self. I think, again, like whether you're masculine, feminine, whatever the gender, it doesn't even matter. I think Virgo wants to feel safe to be themselves. And baby, you have the right, no matter what you express as and how intricate if you have Virgo placements, you have the right to be the earth, feminine, attractive magnet that you are. And no one can change that. You're here to create concepts. You're here to flip shit on its head. You're here to you're here to earthbend. You literally are. And so at the end of the day, no matter what I know it was in the fear space, like, God, I was in some really toxic dynamics that were like chaining me up for cycle after cycle. But you need to know now that you don't have to be scared of releasing them. Why, Alexis? Why? But there's so much. Why would I not be scared anymore? Baby, because you're rich. You're rich. Double back, get a lawyer and fucking sue the shit out of them. That's what I'm telling all Virgos. Like, you can get your money back. You can get a coin out of them for fucking you over like that. Yeah, absolutely. Because what were they doing? Being not self-aware. They were permitting themselves to do some shit that they weren't going to allow you to do. No, exactly. And in comes the check. Ah, yes. Here's what's owed. Because Virgo's actually an empress. You've been running an empire in a feminine manner this whole time. So if a check is coming, you need to be able to pay for the whole thing. No more of this, I'm going to buy back and sell your shit. No. Pay for the whole thing, actually. Because the new currency, says Virgo, is shit that makes you feel something. Because y'all cooked everything else. Yeah, Virgo was the trendsetter, but then y'all destroyed the fucking planet by over fucking doing everything trend-like. Now everything's corny, everything sucks, and everybody sucks. You can't go to the club anymore, you can't go out anymore, you can't do shit. You might as well touch grass because there's nothing else to do. Because these bitches are fucking spiritually bankrupt. And like for a Virgo who literally walks around like a monk amongst us all, like a pure ass motherfucker, like it sucks when we're in a spiritually bankrupt society because you have so much spiritual wealth. And so you're realizing like, ew, I'm better off by myself. I'm better off staying in my own empire and only letting bitches in if they can afford the whole fucking beautiful, lush acreage. I'm getting acreage for you, Virgo, because you're not interested anymore. And I thank you so much, Virgo, because I was, like I said, the shit that I was on before I came into this reading, I don't even want to talk about. But really and truly, like, you guys are so concretely, so evidently creating and attracting this new way of organizing and defining what, in terms of our waters, is the most valuable. So get ready to start appraising spirit. That's what your new role is. You're about to be out here, like, you're going to see Virgos at the function being like, ooh, we got to charge that hoe a fee at the door. Ooh, that's what we gonna call this reading. We about to charge these hoes a fee at the door because you're spiritually bankrupt. Ew, stinky. No, it was free. There was no cover, but for you and your rotten spiritual ass, you can pay 10 times the fee. You can pay for the 10 bitches behind you as well. That's what Virgo's about to do. That's your new role. That's your new vibe. So I'm so excited for you. I thank you because your energy literally heals me. Like when I tap into my North Node, there's always just so much abundance, and there's always the truth of my natural value. And again, my value is really hidden in this intuitive space. So I'm just way more grateful that I actually, no matter what weapons may be formed against me, like I actually am able to, my value doesn't go anywhere. So even if it's hard for me, if the second I try to tap into it, it just overflows and it just runs out of me. And I know you feel that, I know that the things that are really aligned in your purpose, like you could do them. It's like a faucet that never turns off, and I just know that whatever cycle I'm holding space for you that was so dry and disregarded how much water and emotion you were providing them, because they didn't want to see you for that. They only wanted you for the fucking shit that you could straighten out for them. Like, dude, in love and light, I'm so happy the eclipse took that shit out of your life. And I'm so happy that you are just being left to focus on your beautiful, fucking intuitive, emotional, wonderful, full of life ass natural self. And now you're finally getting the bitches who are actually proper, ready to give you an offer, because you actually just know, like, I'm more than a good time. I'm more than a balanced spreadsheet. You know what I mean? Like, I'm more than an office Slack. I'm more than a, like, all right, guys, we're going to do an icebreaker. You're more than that. Like, you're more than that. So I just want you to really meditate on how finally it feels like water, like things that make you feel something are returning back to you. You so fucking deserve that. You so fucking deserve that. And I'm just really grateful that I got to start today's second round of messages with such a like energetic and vibrant and beautiful and just blessed fucking energy like yours. I really wish you all the best and congratulations on graduating the cycle. Happy Aries solar eclipse.